So I see, yeah, I
Right.
see now that we are live. Do you want to go ahead and introduce our guest today, Ree?
Sure. Yes, or we can let him introduce himself and tell us where he's running. John, would you like to?
Sure. I'm John Liccione. I'm a rebel Democratic candidate for Congress down here in Florida, District 13, where I'm running to unseat um, Putin shill Anna Paulina Luna, who's always on Putin's side and against Ukraine. And so this is sort of a swing district. There's more Republicans, a lot more than Democrats, but the non-party affiliated can't, they decide the elections here. So this is a flippable district. I'm one of three Democratic candidates. I am the anti-establishment Democratic candidate, not particularly by choice. It's just the way the party hands the deck, the cards to me. So I lean into the rebel, the rebel label. I'm a rebel in this sense. I'm not the establishment back candidate. There's two of us that are like we're like starved of all resources and donor, and the big donor class. So we're fighting the fight, and so that's sort of a little bit about me. I'm an Air Force veteran, NSA intelligence analyst years ago when I was younger, and now I'm a cybersecurity executive. I've just founded my own company before I decided to run this time, called Ballotier, not Palantir, but Ballotier. It's election integrity defense on the side of the angels. And our slogan is tenable elections. We make your elections tenable. So that's a little bit about me and what gets me up in the fighting mood every morning. And so I'm in this to defend your voting rights, to fight corruption, to prosecute the war on child sex trafficking, which I've declared. I declared a war on child sex trafficking in my first press release. And a fierce defender of Ukraine, anti-Putin, anti-Putin Trump. I say Putin Trump because they're like an integrated evil entity. And then when you add Anna Luna to the triumvirate of evil, it's like there's no space in between the three of them, right? They're just the same, weird sort of
Evil.
Wow, that are well, in her case, enabling child sex trafficking through, unless it's the women that where sex trafficking grew up and then helped sex traffic other girls. She doesn't like them, but she gives Trump a pass. So
I was reading that she made a name for herself in this latest campaign, largely through denialism of the 2020 election, which to me is just the most ridiculous thing to still be talking about in 2026.
well, here's the thing about election integrity. I don't say election denial because I talk with certain Republicans that are men and women of honor that are about election integrity, right? And whether it's not, I'm denying 2020, but I'm accepting 2024. Even on these people on the Republican side, just because Trump did lose, there maybe was no election fraud in 2020 doesn't mean there wasn't election fraud in 2016 to 2024, because there was. And so Democrats sort of like it made it sort of the third rail to talk about don't deny an elections. That's why, I'm not that guy. I've got the receipts. I've got the data, the analytics, and the records that show, election fraud going on down here in Florida in a very is sort of a different kind of election fraud.
So do you
So
think that there was so much election fraud that it likely tipped the balance in the 2024 election?
absolutely, yeah. So if there's a great organization called Election Truth Alliance, um, and and the whole Elon Musk, there's an anomaly in the matrix stuff. So basically, what happened in 2024